I wanted to talk to you a little bit about just your vocation as married people. What I'd like to do is help you reflect on what your vocation is as a whole, just, because we have such a fast-moving society that we don't always have a lot of time to reflect on what we're doing with our life. One thing that's important to realize is that who you are is a couple who stands before God. I don't know if you've ever reflected that. Is not who am I as an individual before God, but who are you as a couple before God? Because in a certain sense, you stand before God together in a very particular way. You think about our first parents, Adam and Eve. We never think of one without the other. And all of history has been affected by how they worked together. Okay? And then if you look at our faith, and really you look at Christ and Mary, especially in the Catholic faith, you'll see that Christ and Mary go together. They're the new Adam and Eve. And in a certain sense, you can't understand our faith without including Mary, and you can't understand our faith without including Christ, because they both have an irreplaceable role in each other's lives and in the lives of their family, who's the church. It is, wives, obey your husbands. That's one of the men's favorite passages. Okay? But it goes with another little passage I'll remind the men of. Okay? It says, husbands should love their wives just as Christ loved the church and sacrifice himself for her. Okay? So those, you can't just take the side of, wives, obey your husbands, right? And actually the word isn't obey, okay, in the original text. It's not obey. It's a word that means to go along with. In other words, it isn't quite obey, it isn't quite submission, it's more travel along with, go along with, okay? Because our word obey is a very difficult word, okay? Especially in our culture with feminism and all those kinds of things, it's really loaded, okay? And that's not what the church means, and that's not what St. Paul meant when he said the word. But on the other side of that, I thought that was very interesting. It's from the Ephesians. It's from the Ephesians. It says, husbands should love their wives just as Christ loved the church and sacrificed himself for her. Okay? That, for you men, really is the essence of your marriage. To sacrifice yourselves for your wives. Okay? And you get that opportunity probably every day when you get home from work and you feel like going to sleep on the couch and watching TV. You men have a vocation to be heroes. I don't know, when you women were little girls, you probably thought of, now who is this guy I'm going to marry? Now, remember, say, maybe when you were 12 or even 8 or maybe 16 and you were dreaming about who is this guy you were going to marry? And he kind of, it's maybe a little, overused, but the knight in shining armor who was going to come along and sweep you up, and he was just going to be this great gentleman who's going to be the love of your life, and who, in a certain sense, when you're a young woman, the fulfillment of really all joy is to find that husband who's going to complete me in a certain sense, who's going to give me the joy of being with me. And there's nothing like that husband who fulfills the dreams of his wife. But he fulfills the dreams of his wife, especially if he's that hero who comes into her life. Okay? A hero. And a hero, the thing about a hero is a hero does something that is above and beyond the call of duty. That's really what a hero is. Someone who does something above and beyond the call of duty. And one of the things that I mentioned, you men coming back from a day's work, I think that every day you have an opportunity to be a hero. Every single day. Because when you come home from work or from practice, right, especially during the season, football coaches here, or coaches, especially during a season, and you've worked long hours as a coach, and now you come home and you've spent a lot of energy, maybe almost all your energy, or maybe all your energy, on for those young men that you're taking care of. Okay, do you have something left for your wife? You know, do you? Forward. This is really a very concrete way that you can be a hero to your wife and sacrifice yourself for her every time you get home, all the time. And the heroic part about it is that you do it all the time. Hear it. It says, as it is, these remain: faith, hope, and love, the three of them. And the greatest of them is love. And the half line is, make love your aim. Make love your aim. Okay. See, that's what it is to be a Christian, is to make love your aim. And Christian in particular in your marriage, says your marriage is your vocation. It's what you're called to in particular by God to fulfill your Christian vocation as a man and a woman. First letter St. John, chapter 3. It says, children, our love must not be just words or mere talk, but something active and genuine. This will be the proof that we belong to the truth, and it will convince us in His presence, even if our own feelings condemn us, that God is greater than our feelings and knows all things. Love must not be just words or mere talk, but something active and genuine. Active and genuine. No fake, but active. You know, one of the great things I love about boys is that boys are creative. Just leave them alone in a room without anybody around for about 10 minutes. If there's something in the room, they're going to do something to it that's creative. To find some way that the thing that I'm going to mess with is going to help somebody. Okay? And that's why I think all men really need to continuously grow in creativity. Okay? It is very easy to get bogged down into a system of life. I go to work at this time, I come home at that time, and then I go to sleep on a couch, and then, or I have a beer, and then I go to sleep on a couch.
How does he know so well?
How's he know this? How's he know this?
It's all tracked on
Okay.
my iPhone.
And, you know, not only can you be heroic when you get home and you're tired, and you can serve your wife and serve your family at that moment when it really takes a hero to do it, because you're a wounded soldier and you're dead tired. I understand that. You're dead tired and you feel like going to sleep. Okay? You can be a hero at that moment, but not only just a hero driving yourself forward, because you can drag yourself forward in any kind of attitude. Okay? Attitude's the whole key word, attitude. What's my attitude as I go forward? Okay? Not only in the key attitude, what type of attitude, it should be a positive attitude, but in a creative attitude. What new can I do? Do your husbands make your life interesting, ladies?